Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Confused Beliefs Get Crushed. Today's contestant, an atheist, or maybe an agnostic. Honestly, even he didn't know. But don't worry, Big Jon Steel knew exactly what to do: expose the nonsense. From circular logic to dodging definitions, this debate had everything except a solid argument from the atheist. Strap in. This one's a masterclass in how to obliterate confusion with cold, hard truth. Let's dive in.
I'm new here, and I just wanted to understand. Could you? I don't know if I don't want to be rude or anything, but could you tell me your process of becoming an atheist? Because I think I saw that you said you were once an atheist.
My
You're a Christian
process?
now, but you once an
There was
atheist.
no process. I just concluded that, I just didn't see any evidence for God, so I just rejected that there would be a God.
Oh no! I mean, you're a Christian now, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you want
Were
my
you once-
testimony,
Were
just
you
go to
once
my...
an atheist?
Yeah. If you want my
Right.
testimony, just head to my YouTube. I got a couple
Okay,
videos on it.
that is fine. I'm new here. I've never seen you. I just saw you, so I just wanted to ask. One other question. Could you tell me atheism is whack? Could you explain that for me, please?
There are no good arguments for atheism.
Okay. So I guess my understanding is that how do you place a position in a negative position? Like, for example, I don't believe in unicorns. How is there a good argument for not believing in unicorns? It's just a
Yeah. You
position
can make
that
an
take.
argument for not believing in unicorns. You can say most of unicorns were written specifically in a myth sense, and we know it was a myth sense because of the genre.
Okay.
We've seen no evidence for it on the planet. Most
Okay.
people concede that it's myth and it's not true. Nobody really believes that it is true. It derives from this specific idea, from this specific area and this specific location. So it seems like the probability is this is a made up idea. So that would be an argument against unicorns.
Okay. And all other religions are false.
No,
Except
but here's the problem though, because
Okay.
you're saying that you have to argue against God for atheism. I'm not saying that. You don't have to argue
No,
against
no.
God. Well, you are, because you're saying I can't argue against unicorns, right?
No, I didn't say that.
Yes, you literally did.
Well, I was framing that in the form of a question to say,
Right. So you'd say you
Take-
have to
take-
argue
take-
against
taking-
unicorns.
no, I was asking. I wasn't making a statement. I was saying, how do I argue against a non-position?
Right. That's not what I'm
identical
asking you to
position?
do. I'm not asking you that. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to argue against the position. You have to argue for
Right.
your position. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
For atheism, there is no good arguments for the position. You don't have to argue
Yeah.
against the position. That's the problem. If your worldview requires that you argue against somebody else's worldview for it to be true, then how am I supposed to believe your worldview?
Well, I don't hold atheism to be a worldview. Atheism is a position on one question, right? It's the claim that a God exists.
Right. So the claim that the God does not exist from the atheistic point of view is the claim that naturalism is the only truth.
Okay, I am an atheist, but I do not hold that position. I do not hold the position that gods do not exist. I just don't believe that they do exist.
Then you're agnostic. You're not atheist.
I'm an agnostic atheist.
Okay, you can't be both.
You can.
No, you can't, because you could say I don't know, or you could say there is
Yes.
not, but you can't say I don't know and there is not.
No. So theism and atheism deals with belief, right? And Gnosticism deals with knowledge.
Okay, I'm agnostic theist.
I don't know. Yeah,
I'm an agnostic Christian.
Yeah, that's fine. So I don't know.
That's not fine. How does that work? How can you be an agnostic Christian?
I'm trying to make my point, right? Right? So I'm an agnostic atheist with regards to I don't know, therefore I do not believe, right? So I don't know believe deals with atheism. I don't know deals with Gnosticism. So if I don't know something, I'm an agnostic. If I don't believe something, I'm an atheist.
Right. So that's not how it works. You don't get this. You don't get to claim both. You're saying I don't know, so therefore I don't believe. That's fine. That doesn't mean you're agnostic. That means you're atheist, and that means the way that you came. That means the way you came to your conclusion is because you don't know. So it just actually means that you have a very low standard of being convinced of something.
That's fine.
So you're not agnostic. Right, you're atheist.
You're
making a positive claim.
Yeah, I never claimed I was an agnostic. I said I was an atheist.
But you can't say I'm an atheist because I don't know. That's agnostic.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I understand.
Right. So you're an atheist. You're saying there is no God, and you're saying the reason there
I'm
is
not
no
saying
God is
that-
because
I'm
I
not saying
haven't
that
been
there is no
convinced of
God.
one.
I explained that before. I don't hold that position. I explained
You
that
do.
before.
You do.
I don't hold that
Right.
position.
So the position you're holding, which you literally just explained to me, is that there is no God because I haven't been convinced there's one.
I never said that there is no God. I don't know why you're misrepresenting.
Okay, then you're
my position.
agnostic.
I do not hold a belief in a God.
Then you're atheist.
That's why I never claim to be an agnostic. Right.
Okay, if you're saying you're atheist, then you're saying there is no God.
No, I'm not.
Well, then you're agnostic.
I'm not saying that there is no God. I don't hold
If you're saying I don't know, then you're agnostic, bro.
That's fine. See, I don't have difficulty in accepting either labels. I don't hold a belief in a God. I'm not saying that there is no God.
Then you're agnostic.
If there is a God, I am open to evidence.
Okay, then you're agnostic. You're not atheist.
Fine. Again,
okay.
I'm not really, dying on a hill on a label here, right? So I don't hold a belief in a God until I've been shown evidence, right? So
okay, well, I don't hold a belief in atheism until I've been shown evidence.
That's fine. I'm wondering what belief in atheism means. This will be my last question, and you can
belief in atheism. Belief in atheism is
in the UK.
Belief in atheism is that naturalism is the only truth.
Okay, there are atheists who do not hold that position too.
If they're not naturalists, they're not atheists.
Okay, that's I find it quite strange though, but that's fine. That's okay. Anyway, thank you very much. You were very cool. I appreciate it.
All right, bro. God bless. Have yourself a great night.
Thank you.
People want their cake and eat it too. They want to claim every title except theist. I'm agnostic. I'm atheist. I also believe in the supernatural, and I also believe in naturalism. But I do not accept the Christian God. That's where I draw the line, because there's not enough evidence. But there's definitely enough evidence for naturalism, for atheism. That's the direction I want to go, because there's a stupid amount of evidence for it, and that evidence is the lack of evidence you have for your claim. So therefore, my claim is true. That's how atheism works, right, John?
That was a wild ride through the fog of confused unbelief. Here are 3 things I learned from watching Big Jon Steel dismantle that debate. 1. If you don't know whether you're an atheist or agnostic, maybe don't start a debate. 2. Atheism still has 0 arguments, just vibes and feelings. 3. Big Jon Steel surgically removes nonsense from the conversation, leaving the atheist with no ground to stand on. If that was as entertaining and eye-opening for you as it was for me, go ahead and hit that like button, drop your thoughts below, and make sure to subscribe for more intellectual smackdowns. Catch you in the next one.